Hi! Today I'm going to show you an interesting technique on how to make such an awesome beaded bag. Okay, first of all we need beads of different sizes. We also need a fishing line. I have it 0.5 millimeter in diameter. To start the first line, we need to connect 4 beads in a ring. And usually, the DIY masters just thread one end of the fishing line into the last bead. But pay attention, it will not turn out very strong, and the beads on the line are separating. Here we come to the secret technique. We need to make a loop at one end and thread the second fishing line end into this loop. That's about it. It remains only to tighten it inside the bead. This method I consider the most robust and reliable. The beads do not diverge and the beaded canvas is very strong. Okay, then we continue to collect beads on both sides of the lines. Check this out, we take 2 beads on one side and only 1 bead on the other side. And then we repeat the same procedure with the loop, but on the sides where the 2 beads are on the fishing line. We again tighten the knot inside the bead. Such weaving will give our future bag a strong frame. When we have decided on the bag width, we finish the first row and make a loop on a large bead on the side, so we can turn around and weave the second row in the opposite direction. We start the second row with a little trick. We take 3 beads on one line and make a loop there. And tighten it. Oh look, the second row has begun. We need to thread one of the ends into the beads of the first row in order to fasten them together. Then we add 1 large bead, 1 small one and tighten the loop into a small bead. This is how we make the whole canvas. Do you know how to tie the lines together if the length of the line ends or you are done with the canvas? Easy peasy! My favorite way is to simply thread the ends of the lines inside the canvas and tie the super strong knot you can. Use medical punches to not be like me. Once we have finished with canvas, we need to fold it and decide how deep we want the bag. It seems to me that 2 rows are enough for such a bag. See how it looks. We will add beads not to the very last row, but placing the side row a little inside the canvas. We'll be adding sides to this row of small beads. It's very simple because we are repeating the same pattern, but just on the different plane. So, we weaved to the fold, and now we need to turn around and weave the second row to the side wall. At this stage, you want to touch the bag because it's very pleasant, and it remains for us to make handles. My favorite way to make handles is to attach them to the side of the bag. So, here you need a little trick. We make a handle from triangles, stacked in layers. A layer of large beads, a layer of small ones, a layer of large ones, a layer of small ones, and so on. And there is no necessary for knots inside small beads here. By the way, tell us about your experience in weaving bags in the comments. What techniques do you use? What size of beads do you prefer? I usually use large beads because I don't have the patience for small ones. Yes, handles are sometimes tricky. Do you want me to record a tutorial with the bag having two handles on its sides? If so, put a plus in the comment and we will make it. We connect the end of the handle to the other side of the bag. To be honest, this might be not very convenient, but I'm sure you will succeed. Super! All the knots are tied. The bag is ready to use. I decided to add another long handle. I'm a fan of this kind. If you enjoyed this adventure, subscribe and see you in the next DIY projects.